it's actually years and years. You're always evolving. But as you can imagine, I think Judy's makeup, it takes her, I think, 3 hours. So the makeup is really intense. And then luckily we don't have the heat wave today because as you can imagine, the costumes get very heavy and warm.
Two questions. So, yeah, like in Farewell My Concubine, the female role is obviously played by Jern Wing, which I'm just curious about the kind of history of men playing opposite gender roles in Cantonese opera.
Yeah, so in the past, it was also very much like kabuki. It was mostly men playing all the roles in the past.
Yeah.
And here we are, at Women's History Month, very feminist. So we have Judy playing the male role. And then we have Shirley here. And you'll hear more from Shirley because Shirley's documented a lot about Cantonese opera. And so you'll want to hear about her book.
So right now, Judy is going to start with demoing some of the basic movements. So pay attention to what she's going to show you. And then also that will help all of us to understand when we watch future acts and to know what those are about. So these are just a few small demos.
Anyone know what this is?
I don't know.
It's a horse. This is a horse. So when we have, someone brings out the horse, so we get on the horse, right? So by getting on the horse, we go like this. Now I'm going to do it in slow motion, okay? So you bring this around. You know how you hold on to it, and then you get on. So you're on, left and right, okay? So go like this, and the horse is running, right? Run, 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 and this is like, woo! Okay, so after we get off the horse, so we just kind of like jump off, right? So you put the horse and tie them, bring the rope around, just like tie, a ribbon. That's it. That's a horse. That's the horse part. And there will be movements that we do, like especially for general type stuff. And a teacher, we call this Lai San, okay? So this is Lai San, okay? So left, and then right. So you notice both my hands, this is yang, yin, yang. You know the yin yang? So after you do this, you see the yin yang? Okay? That's the yin yang, okay? So for the men, for the general, they don't walk small steps. They literally, take big steps like this. This is hard for a woman to do, okay? Not very ladylike. But we practice at home. When my husband's at home. So that's about all I can tell you. I mean, there are more, like you go up the stairs, down the stairs, but not with this, So when you present this, it represents your status, okay? Or with this is your status too. So when you go like this, you present yourself as, like you're in high status, okay? Or when you're frustrated, then you play with you play with this. Woo! Okay? So, anything else that you guys want to see?
There's a hand back there.
I have a question about when did you decide to play the male? And also, the singing. When you first started singing, I kind of thought that was a really strong masculine voice.
Yes.
Was that?
I started 20 years ago.
Whoa.
I have a regular male voice. Then 10 years later, I decided I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do this act. But my teacher, Chanabansibo, now, he said, you sing for me first. he wanted to test this out. So I go, okay, so I better, because he teaches you, you don't just sing. You have to sing with strength, okay? Especially when, you're doing this kind of role. So I guess I passed his test. So I started doing this about 10 years ago. And I love it ever since. So did that answer all your questions? I think you have 2 questions there, right?
Yay. And then now, we're gonna have Shirley
Oh,
to show
I
us.
was gonna say, before Shirley comes up, I just want to point out Judy's shoes. So Chinese were the original platform shoe. And it gives you balance, a little bit stamina.
No.
No?
This is very hard.
Okay.
You try walking on stilts all the time.
Although
I've
I've heard that in, especially for martial artists, they'll walk like with the 8 steps in a row. So
Yes,
that prevents you
yes.
from tripping, and you notice that the shoes are a little bit curled up on top, so it hopefully will keep you from tripping. And then one last thing before I bring Shirley up is the male hand gestures are different from the female hand gestures. So can you demonstrate the male hand gestures?
The hand gestures.
That you would use.
Well, especially with this particular characters, my hands are, you always see my hand going like this, right? So the first time I performed this act, my son came. He couldn't recognize me. Until mommy put his hand out. Oh my God, that's mommy's hand, that's the slapping hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And now we have Shirley, and hopefully Shirley will show you the feminine hand gestures amongst other things. And also, we didn't have the costumes with the big sleeves, but also women will get to kind of move around their sleeves for extra emphasis.
And hopefully we'll see that in a future top action.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our show. And are you enjoying our performance so far? One more time, my name is Shirley A, and my partner is Judy Zhang. You all know that she is a woman. So in Cantonese opera, it's perfectly normal for a woman to play a man, and vice versa, a man to play a woman. So Judy today, she portrayed a powerful warrior king who believed he was destined to become emperor one day. Unfortunately, he was defeated in the final battle. Now let's take a look at Judy's makeup. Do you think she just messed up her face? No. Actually, there's a lot of knowledge behind this. What she is wearing is called a facial pattern makeup. In Chinese opera, the design painted on the face are not just decoration. They are actually a kind of symbolic language. Each different facial pattern represents a particular historical character and reveals something about this character's personality. The colors are especially meaningful. For example, red usually represents loyalty and bravery. Black represents honesty, strength, and integrity. White, on the other hand, usually represents someone who is cunning or treacherous. So, in other words, in Chinese opera, the audience only needs to look at the face patterns to know who is the good guy and who is the villain. Judy's facial pattern is mainly black, and which symbolizes strength and righteousness. This is perfect for the character that she is playing today. She is the king of Chor, Hong Yu. Now let's take a look at my makeup. My makeup is a typical fa dan. Fa dan in Chinese means a beautiful young female character. And the biggest difference between the makeup of a fa dan and that of a young scholar is fa dan will use the 7 special shaped hair pieces I have on my face, together with these 2 long sideburns, this can actually be shaped somebody's face appearance. If you have a round face, you can transform into a very a slender, more pointed face. And if you have a long face, it can transform into a beautiful oval-shaped face. So this stage makeup technique is very amazing. Sometimes people look at my makeup and ask, isn't your makeup too much? But on stage, it is actually right. Because of the stage light, very strong, and the distance between the actors and the audience, the makeup has to be bold and strong. So even audience sitting in the very back can see our facial expressions. Now, people often ask me another question. Does it take a long time to put on your makeup? It took me 3 hours to put this on. But to remove it, only take 10 minutes. So to be a performer, doing the makeup is harder than to perform. Now let's take a look at the costumes. If you get a chance to look outside, you see our display about the costumes. And on those costumes, there's beautiful embroideries on the costumes. They have dragons, phoenixes, flowers, and so on. Each design has its own symbolic meaning. For example, dragon represent king, phoenix represent royal women, and flowers represent beauties and elegance. Now take a look at my costume. I have these birds. It's called Chinese golden pheasants, which are very rare birds, and they represent some kind of authority and beauty. Now let's take a look at our friend Jean. Jean, please come here. Jean is wearing a female warrior costume. And then you may also notice that she has these 4 flags at the back. Turn around. Say in the battlefield in the olden days, the commander will use the flags to make the commands to the soldiers. So when an actor walks onto the stage with these 4 flags on, you immediately know that he or she is a commanding generals. So let me ask you a question. Do you know why Judy is not wearing her 4 flags? Right, you tell the audience. Because she lost the battle.
Yeah, I lost
Somebody
the battle.
listen to me.
All my flags are off.
She lost the battle and she ran without her flags.
But I still have this.
So as you see, the Cantonese opera, when an actor simply walks onto the stage, the audience can already tell a lot about the character, even before the actor sings a single note. You see, the makeup and costume is not just decoration. The makeup will tell about the character's personality, and the costume will tell the status. So thank you very much for coming today, and we hope we can see you next time.
Thank you so much.
補充一句在座講廣東話嘅朋友咧，相信你哋都聽得明白啦。咁咧，有冇人會有興趣想嘗試擺一個花旦妝咧？如果有嘅話咧，咁你就可以 contact 精英，因為精英咧就好多化妝班啊，同埋有化妝嘅大師啊，幫你哋會擺一個好靚嘅妝嘅。多謝大家。
Thank you. Yeah, if you're ever interested in, like getting the makeup and costumes, just contact us. So we're gonna move to the the next last part of the talk back.
Question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, it's not on. First off, I didn't realize there was another performance, but I wanted to thank the entertainers because as a child, I watched the Chinese opera like with my grandma on TV. So thank you for explaining some of the context and stuff like that for like the outfits and the makeup. I did want to ask, I understand that there are some morals and messages that are common in Chinese opera, and I wanted to ask like what are common like morals and messages that are taught in these
This is
shows?
history. History. Our act is history.
Oh,
One doesn't answer your question.
well, yeah, I guess like common themes in like Cantonese operas in general, not specific to like your today's.
It's usually history, a lot of filial piety,
Yeah.
and then betrayal sometimes, because that's what happens in history when people are struggling for power.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just remember Cheyenne mentioning that like she learned morals and messages, which is why I brought it up.
And then you and friends right here?
Yes, I wanted to say that I couldn't take my eyes off of you guys. And even though I don't speak Cantonese, I surely want to learn it. But I was able to feel that experience, and it was very emotional, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Shirley.
Shirley's gonna
We're
say.
gonna
Everybody
have
have a
to
good camera. You can see these are real tears.
That's what I
Later,
know.
Real tears.
Yes, I felt. That's why I felt this very strongly. It was beautiful.
thank you. We want to respect everyone's time, so we have 10 minutes, but we still want to have the last talkback show. And so John, Julie, and Shirley, we're gonna have them share a little bit more and opportunities for you to ask